Welcome back. I'm Felix, and I don't think I've reacted to a Smosh video in a while. I decided to grab one. I don't even know what the first one is. I just figured I'd do a random one, and because they have some pretty good ones. So this one does say updates only. So let's see what we got. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And I was trying to think of something clever to say with Smosh in it, but let's just get started.
Yes. This one comes from relationship advice and also best of Redditor updates. Ex-boyfriend and I were van lifing across country. He kicked me and all my stuff out last week. I am now 2 states away and have his dad's watch. He's demanding I deliver it to him.
Oh my God.
Okay.
There's a lot to unpack there.
So yeah, like the title says, we were both remote workers and decided that we could van life and see things while still working. We lasted about a month, and last week he flipped out over the way I sipped my coffee and told me I had to leave. I thought he meant like we would pack up and figure out how to get me home. No, he meant I needed to get out with all my shit in the middle of a state park in New Mexico and figure it out. I was scared and pissed, so I hurriedly packed everything and got out. A very nice older couple had heard the screaming and saw me with a pile of my stuff and asked if I needed help. I said yes, and they said they would drive me to Albuquerque in their RV and we could figure out what would happen next. Well, it turns out they're the sweetest people ever, and we eventually came to the conclusion that it would be easier for me to travel with them home to Kansas. And now they've allowed me to...
I'm sorry, it's just, wow. The odds of that happening, that she met the right people at the right time that could help her out. That's just awesome, to be honest with you.
them insanely fair rent, food, etc. I just have to edit the wife's book and help the husband with his guitar playing. Well, it turns out in the hurry of packing, I grabbed my ex's watch. That was his dad's. I got in touch with him and told him I was sorry. It was truly an accident and I had no intention of keeping it. How would he like me to get it to him? He said I needed to meet him in Utah. I said that was ridiculous. I could send it to him. He said that it was too valuable to trust to mail or FedEx and needed to be hand delivered. I said I was in Kansas and not coming to Utah, but I would return the watch to his brother when I go home in March. He said no. The only solution was for me to drive it to him. I said I didn't even have a car. He said, you're probably f***ing half of Lawrence. Use one of theirs. At that point, I blocked him. The watch is pretty valuable and has a lot of sentimental value, and I will return it. It was my oversight that I have it in the first place. What are my obligations to follow his instructions to get the watch back to him?
Before they say anything, she is under no obligation to follow his instructions. She's offered to return it. I would reach out to the brother and let him know what's going on and be like, when I come home, I'll give it to you unless you want me to mail it to you. If the brother's okay with it, I would send it to the brother and be like, here you go. But as for the ex-boyfriend, be like, kiss my ass. Ugh. Like, if you wanted that back, come to Kansas and I'll give it to you. But otherwise, no. I'm not doing any of that other stuff.
I feel like she's asking more like on a legal sense.
Yeah.
Like,
We're both lawyers.
do I have to give it back to him?
Yeah, okay.
I didn't get that. Like, do I have to give it back to him? She wants to give it back. It's not her. She understands that. It's definitely, does she have to follow his instructions is what she asked. And the answer is no. She doesn't have to go to Utah meeting. Hopefully she kept those, I hope it was a text message, and she kept those text messages. So that way, if he tries to report it to the police, they can be like, this is what he wanted me to do. And the police can be like, yeah, you're not obligated to do any of that.
Here's a great way to try to get your stuff, belittle the person and say that they're f***ing like a whole city.
Yeah, I don't know what,
Like,
what he's thinking there.
Like she has the watch, brother.
Yeah. Well, beyond that, like, we don't know the story that led up to it, but I can't think of many things that would justify abandoning somebody in a place that they have no resources. Like, if that nice RV couple had not come along, that would have been a very dangerous situation. It already
100%.
was. Like,
100%.
so many things could have gone wrong. So, yeah, in my mind, he owes her. I know this is best of update, so it could be like, ooh, I'm a werewolf, and he didn't know I was, like, staying in his van in the first place, and he heard the coffee, and that's because I was hiding.
Look, this is the thing. She's a nomad. There's no way he can find her.
Then why he's so angry?
I
R/nomad.
oh, I get it.
He's not mad.
because it's
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
pretty good.
Sorry, I'm a little slow.
I was with him. I didn't get it at first.
Was it really the coffee sipping?
Oh, it sounds like they got on each other's nerves immediately.
Yeah.
They lasted a
He accused her of sleeping with half, I forget where he said, half the city. So was she cheating on him and he found out? I kind of wonder that. But it's still, he needs to calm down or he ain't getting that watch back.
van lifing.
Oh, that's right.
But van lifing, it's like, living together with someone is a huge test. Living in a van?
Yes.
Down by the river? Together?
Yeah.
No, insane. Like, that's a lot for some people. It clearly was
Yes.
too much for them.
I think a lot of people are sold the fantasy of van life without the reality that comes with it.
It's
It's all
tough.
pushed by big van.
By a really big van.
Large. It's a bus, really.
Yeah.
This guy is a massive jerk. I mean, for one, dumping her off just randomly in just some place.
I wouldn't
and just
do
leaving
that.
her there without a car or anything.
I wouldn't do that to like somebody that I was like even like remotely close to.
I think
Yeah. Like-
there's nothing that can justify that. Like, even if he was like, if his second comment related to something like, I found out that you, outside of our relationship, slept with 5 of my closest friends, you can be as mad as you want. You don't abandon them in the desert. Like, and I understand that
No,
hard, but you're responsible for their safety.
She's
Yeah.
extremely lucky.
And so is he.
Lucky that someone was able to like.
It's
pick
the
her up,
beginning of a
but
horror
also-
movie.
Yeah.
Lucky that someone was able to pick her up, and lucky that the people who picked her up weren't serial killers.
Yeah.
I mean, like it's
Or
this.
any-
Yeah, that could have went so bad for her real quick. And if that was my daughter and I discovered he did that, he might want to stay gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened to be a sweet old couple, but like,
What if it's editing the wife's book, but it's bound in like people skin?
yeah.
Okay, yeah, we kind of glossed over that whole
Okay,
part that,
yeah,
that
so-
she was going to edit her book and do what for the husband?
The
Help him
husband
play
plays
guitar.
Yeah.
What is going on?
I know this is a lot.
They're not real. It's like a Tom Bombadil situation.
Yeah.
Where they just really need breakfast, and it's like, well, welcome to the land of plenty. I'm the spirit
Right.
of Middle Earth itself.
She might still be in the desert and she's hallucinating all of this.
So we'll get into some comments. A lot of users pointed out that this reminded them that they were making comparisons to what happened to Gabby Petito, which shows like the severity of this type of situation. Other people said, you gave reasonable options. Let's say he files a police report that you stole it. You have proof that you contacted him and asked where you could send it. He declined.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard when you're really trying to compromise and someone won't wiggle at all, and eventually you're like, I guess that's it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, if you took this to Judge Judy, I think she would rule in the woman's favor.
totally. Someone said, I'd say she needs to stop catering to him. She has his brother's address. Send the watch to him. Provide him with the tracking number and be done with it. I've sent the watch to your brother's address. Here's the tracking number. It should be there in X amount of days. Do not contact me further is all she needs to do. For a guy who stranded her over sipping a coffee, she doesn't need to bend over backwards for this small of a mistake.
Also, you could-
That's what I agree with.
And you can also like have like the receiver sign for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if there's nobody there, then they come back later. Like,
Yeah. Someone said, the guy abandoned you. You offering to mail it to him is honestly an impressive move on your part. He's continuing to insult you after you made that very reasonable offer. Do not meet him in person. If you do, you're potentially putting your safety at risk. I agree with that. Lastly, someone said, leave the watch in the middle of some state park like he did to you.
yes, yes, petty revenge.
There's the argument of being like, I don't have the watch.
Just an iced out lizard.
Actually, I wonder, did he even notice the watch was missing? I was just thinking about that. Did he even notice? She could have been like, I don't have your watch. And he goes, you have it. You got to prove it. I don't have it.
Sasquatch, a photo of Sasquatch. It's like, whoa, he's got bling.
He's got the Seiko, you know.
Okay. What do we think is going to happen next? Do you think she's going to mail the watch? Do you think she's going to keep the watch? Or do you think she's going to go try to meet him?
Gosh.
People are
Are
stupid.
those our only
Okay.
3 options?
People are stupid. I'm hoping she didn't try to go meet him. I hope she just did reach out to the brother and tried to mail it to him. But like I said, people are stupid. I'm going to say she tried to meet him because people are stupid.
No, it could be a secret
since this
fourth
is an
option.
update.
he came to Kansas.
Something tells me, I feel like if she mails the watch, then the story's over. So I don't think she's going to mail the watch.
Okay.
I think she might meet him somewhere.
I think she's going to go to mail the watch, and she'll get like called back. Like, can we talk to you about this package real quick? Like, I think there is something about the watch or what
You really
he
think
was
there's
up to.
drugs in that watch?
Not that there's drugs in the watch, but like we already know that like sipping coffee is either this is an unreliable narrator, which I don't feel right now, or he was up to something where it's like, you're acting weird and you're going to draw attention to the van, and we've only been doing this for a month. Like, there is something involved that would like tie him to something, a murder. I don't know. It just
Interesting.
He really wants that watch hand delivered that doesn't want the feds involved.
You're expecting a reveal,
There's going to be a reveal.
some character development
Okay.
on his
Okay.
part.
Or is it going to be that the book and the songwriter are there's somebody that we know? We're like, oh, it's Dr. Seuss and it's Simon and Garfunkel.
Okay. Here we go. Well, so lots of, this update came a week later. Well, so lots of mixed advice, but most people said the best option was to contact his brother. Before I did that, I decided to unblock my ex just to give him one more chance to give me an address where I could ship the watch. Actual text conversation. Me. Hey, I'm sorry I blocked you. I just didn't appreciate the insults, but I want to get your dad's watch back. Can you let me know where to send it? I'll pay for shipping, no problem. Like less than 30 seconds later, he responds, I stashed the watch in your bag because I wanted to prove to myself what an awful person you are, and good job at proving me right again.
That is such bullshit.
It doesn't make sense.
That is
Manipulators.
She
That is
literally
such a
contacted him being like, hey, I have
lie.
your watch. Can I give it back to you?
Oh, but you won't do it in the exact way that requires you to drive across
I'm like, oh, so you gave it to me. Thanks.
the country, huh? Now we see who's crazy.
You know, he just fucked up and like the watch got misplaced, and he's like, actually, it was a test. It was a test, and you failed, and you're a bad person.
I actually believe he did put the watch in there. I think
Seriously?
I think it's a manipulation tactic. I
think it's
now it doesn't really
manipulation.
matter. I mean, at this stage, because I don't think she should ever be in contact with him again. She needs to stay away from him. But I think it's very likely that he's telling the truth as a means of like, kind of like keeping her close.
contact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also doesn't make
scary.
sense. Doesn't make sense. He's like, you proved me right. You're a bad person. It's like, I'm trying to give it back to you, dude.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, tests always work. Relationship tests always work out in Reddit
Test
stories.
everything, everyone, all
Yeah.
the time.
All the time. Trick people, too. If they tell you something happened, tell them it didn't happen.
Yeah. After he sends that, she writes, I was like, wow, so many people in the original said that he probably put the watch in my stuff as I was packing in order to force communication and force the opportunity to see him again. Well, you were exactly correct. I didn't even respond to his text and blocked him again. I have no intention of keeping the watch, so I decided now it was time to contact his brother,
Good.
who along with his wife has always been very nice to me. He was super appreciative, and we spent a couple days going back and forth figuring out the shipping, but the watch arrived to him on Friday and all is good. He even Venmo'd me $1,000 for being so honest, contacting him, etc. I make really good money, so I told him it wasn't necessary at all, but he insisted, so we agreed to donate it to a food pantry here in Lawrence. But I'm still
awesome.
But I'm still so creeped out thinking about the day when he kicked me out of the van and he was screaming at me, calling me all sorts of names and scheming to stay in touch with me. He was slamming all my stuff into bags, but that was cover for him hiding the watch. The fact that it was so deliberate, yet he thought of it so quickly is so scary to me. We got along so well before we left, and he always seemed like such a great guy. I don't know if the confined space of the van is too much for any couple or if it brought out a side of him I didn't know was there. Makes me sad and scared at the same time, but relieved it's over.
I wonder how.
Yeah, he was, because I don't think they were dating that long. So he was hiding it, and then he couldn't hide it no more.
Sorry, go for it.
I think we're about to say the same thing.
Like, how long were they together
wasn't
before they went?
I know, we don't have that info.
Because it's like you didn't see any kind of signs. And
Yeah.
this just happened once you started van lifing.
It's
like,
tough, man. I mean, with so many relationships, you have those blinders until you don't.
Sure.
You know, you have
Yeah.
those blinders until kind of like the bad thing happens,
Yep.
and then you're like now aware of that. Like it's almost the difference. It's frankly, it makes me think of like what we talk about with so many age gap relationships. When like an older guy is dating a younger woman, and it's like they're probably not going for a woman in her 30s because she has dealt with a guy like you.
She can clock.
And now she's going to clock
Yeah.
it. So you can't get away with that. But I think it's different for every person.
I also think I would question how spontaneous that was when she's like, yeah, he just thought of it spur of the moment. But we're forgetting that he was like, the coffee, you're sipping the coffee. Like, I don't know, and I don't want to get like, too personal for anybody else, but like, if you've ever been in a relationship where the other person starts being a little bit like, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, dinner? You just want to have dinner on a night. And you're like, I don't know what this is. And then
What's funny to me is that I mess with my wife like that, and she knows I'm just messing with her. But I do it because I know there are real people out there who do that stuff. Like my wife be like, hey, let's go out to eat. And I'm like, oh my God, you always want to go out to eat. And it could have been like 2-3 weeks since we went out to eat. But I'll make it seem like we went out every single day. And then my daughter's like, just shut up, Daddy. So they know I'm just joking. But yeah, there are people who do that all the time. Who make it seem like something's going on all the time when in reality it's not.
Later there's something behind it.
Yeah.
That for me is like, it sounds like he planned this whole thing of like, I'm going to kick her out and then have her come back, and like that's how you do this. And the fact that he's just like, coffee, you are drinking it with your mouth lips?
Right.
Get out! Like, that's so made up
Yeah.
by him.
Well, I'm glad she's out of it.
Yep.
Oh,
Happy ending.
yeah.
And she got $1,000 out of it.
And she got who gives somebody $1,000 for
That's
just like a
nuts.
simple task?
So we believe from the comments that it might have been a Rolex.
Okay.
Which,
But still, like, it's just like she still just shipped a watch,
But
and they're like,
it's not-
here's $1,000. Like, they're not going to get $1,000 from.
Well, it depends on the watch. It's also possible the brother took the watch and he may not have given it back to the other brother. It's like, you were so careless with this watch. I'm not giving it back to you. And a lot of those old watches, if they've been in your family for a long time, a lot of those old watches are worth a lot of money. It can be upwards, depending on the brand, they can hit the millions. But a lot of times they're still in the double or triple digits in the thousands. So, yeah, if you got an old watch that's been in your family a long time, hold on to it.
But it's also their dad's watch then.
there's
if it's the brother.
it's the sentimental value.
It's
so the
kind
brother
of a whole
cares about it.
family thing.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the thing that Baby No Money has for the brunch, and he has the paddock for the show.
Oh, okay. Yep. Yeah.
Got the rollie for the
Crazy.
brunch.
Crazy.
You're best friends with him now. I can just say it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that's what he said in that part.
Yeah, he's got a rollie for the brunch and a paddock for the show.
Okay. I was gonna roll the show.
Yeah, you said
Left,
it.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, he's gonna claim us now. Now he's gonna take all the money from this episode.
Yeah.
And then he's Baby Money Man.
Now he's
Baby with money.
Baby with money.
Baby parentheses money :reloaded.
Okay. Our next story.
Okay. Well, I was just doing that one. I might go back and listen to some more, just break it up, a couple different ones. But that was interesting. That was not what I was expecting. So yeah, I do like watching Small Shave. What's funny is my daughter actually got me into watching their Reddit story stuff, and I like it. I kind of am doing what they're doing, where mine's just random Reddit stuff. Except I also do like the writing prompt Reddit stories as well. But I'll leave a link so you guys can go watch the whole thing. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and everyone take care. Later.